Welcome to Wellness for Real People, Season 2.
Wherever you're at right now in this moment, I want you to fast forward in your mind. I want you to think many, many years in the future when you're 88 years old. And I want you to visualize yourself and what what do you feel like at age 88? Are you active? Are you alert? Are you healthy? These are some really important things to consider as we discuss something really, really simple today, but I think really, really profound that can have lasting impact on our health and well-being in our life. So we're going to talk about something as basic as walking today. We've got some walking advice from a master walker. I didn't know that was an actual thing, but apparently it really is. And this is really, really impressive. I'm reading an article from Harvard Health Publishing. This gentleman, Dr. Alan Poisner, who is 88 years old, he's actually a latecomer to the world of competitive walking. You know, he took up race walking at age 50. And over the past 38 years, the article says he's become one of the country's most decorated master level walkers. So he's won 5 gold medals. He's represented the United States in international competitions, competed in 14 national senior games and holds several records. Now, if that wasn't enough, he's also a medical researcher, and he's done, extensive research exploring the physiology of walking, especially among older adults. And I thought, this article is really, really interesting because, I thought if this gentleman can do this at age 88, can be up and alert and active at 88, what excuse do we have, right? I know life gets busy, it gets crazy. There's a million other things we may want to do, but I think it's really, really important that, we set that foundation of health for ourselves in terms of, moving our bodies consistently, and then of course eating mindfully as well, so fueling our bodies. But this one we're going to talk specifically around exercise, and we're not going to talk about any crazy workouts, no 90-day plan, no get lose 50 pounds quick type of thing. I'm talking about something so simple we often forget it. It's just walking. So Aaron, kind of what are your initial thoughts on this article?
I had a couple, man. I think the biggest one was just around like this factor of like sustainability and like over time of just how healthy you are if you just put these daily practices into habit versus when you try these little splash moments. And I know I'm going a little off script on this one, but a couple things I saw. Number one, he started at 50. He's now 88, over 38 years. Like I'm not like even 38 yet. This guy really just, kind of made it happen. He turned into a lifestyle just by walking. He's probably, from what I can see in the image, he's one of the healthiest guys I've seen. And overall, I think one of the biggest things is it's easier to do than like you said, a lot of these fitness programs. It's more sustainable than like these diet pills or, fad trends or whatever's coming your way. And it's something that, we can sustain over a long period of time. I think about like my grandmother, who was like all about like getting outdoors, walking, running, etc. Yeah, lived to a much longer age than my grandfather, who was stationary, smoked cigarettes, and just kind of stayed inside. It just tracks. Like she wasn't a fitness like expert or an athlete or anything like that. Just want to get outside and walk a little bit, and she lived into her late 80s. And so it's one of those things, man, where it's like, it doesn't take much to be healthy and live a long life as long as you're consistent.
Yeah. I think we often overcomplicate it. We're looking for the latest and greatest thing, but like you said, it really doesn't take much. 20, 30 minutes a day can make a tremendous impact, on our health and well-being. So the doctor, has a few tips that I want to share, specifically around building a walking practice, that I think can be helpful. So the first thing he recommends is, choose a time, like put it in your calendar. It's easy to say I'll get around to it eventually, but we get busy, and it's one of those easy things to forget to do, or try to get around to it later. But when you put it in your calendar like it is an event, because it is a very important meeting and an event with yourself, right? You're much more likely to stick with it. So he says, it's best to set aside a specific time or day of week and just walk for fun or for fitness, and find kind of your rhythm, what works for you. You know, sometimes some people like walking in the mornings, or he prefers walking in the afternoons, right after he's got busy in his day, his body's, you know, woken up a little bit, right? Maybe it works better for you to walk, you know, at night after, you know, after work, and just kind of decompress, and after family time. Whatever works best for your biorhythm, just work on trying to put it in your calendar, so that it becomes a routine.
Yeah, and I like the next one too. I think is really big, is just kind of like around varying your settings. I think he says like for pleasure walks, he likes to enjoy non-urban trail-like settings in new areas. But for structured workouts, it's like a treadmill or indoor track or something to measure the pace. So I think it's a kind of cool to just like keep things exciting, keep things interesting, so you're not bored. Because I know about you, but I don't know, but like walking on a treadmill all the time, just looking at like a wall is not that exciting. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought that was a cool tip.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of goes with the next tip, really shaking it up, right? Like, yeah, just varying it a little bit, in terms of the location, and then the actual exercise itself. For me, like during this time of year, I tend to work out. I tend to work out in the mornings, first thing in the morning. And during November, December, January, February here in Colorado, it's cold. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna be out here, at 12 degrees, going for a walk at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's dark out. It's just not. I'm not that dude. Okay, maybe some people are like that, but that's not me, right? So for me, what works at this time of year is I go to the gym, and I do get on the treadmill, right? And I'm walking, and by the time I get going and done with my exercise for the morning, right, the sun's come up and I'm feeling good, and I've gotten a good workout in. But when the summer comes, oh, I love to be outside, right? Then I love to get up early and get out there, right, before it gets too hot, and so, yeah, I love that idea of just kind of shaking things up, and keeping things interesting. He talks about varying the pace with which you walk, right? So you can kind of start slow and gradually build up like a ladder, your intensity, and then kind of work your way back down, right? Or you can do interval type of training with just the speed at which you're walking. So there's ways to kind of mix it up and make it a little more interesting than just, like you said, just stepping in front of a wall. But any walking is at least a good
It's
start.
better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think this other one kind of leans into it too, just in terms of like having like a goal or a destination or something to kind of make it fun and challenging, is just signing up for a race. I remember back to like, like years ago when we would do 5Ks and 10Ks and whatnot, that would excite me and like kind of keep me motivated to stay on track. Because like, oh man, I don't want to be like behind the pack or behind the guys like at the end of the line. So I think like signing up for the race kind of gave you a destination, and they kept you motivated along the way to stay in shape for that race. And so I think it's, you don't have to do a race, but it's just one of those things where it just has like a destination, a goal, some kind of thing in mind that you're working towards. And I think it helps to keep you on track.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing on that, you just brought it up. It's a great point, and I wanna throw this out there to you, as a challenge. I say let's do it. Like, let's actually sign up for a race, a run race, a
All
run
right.
walk. I'm not saying we need to run the race, okay?
Yeah. But we just like, we sign up for whatever it is, 5K walk, run, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the walking portion just to walk the talk, and just to do it. Like you said, it gives you a reason, something to look forward to. Get outside when you probably
Right.
maybe wouldn't have, right? And just, be amongst other people, support a good cause. If you're up to it, I'll
Man.
do it with you, and we'll do it and document it and talk about it later on another episode of the show. But I
Yeah,
love
I'm
that
in.
tip.
I'm in 100%.
Cool. Let's do it. I know they got the turkey trot coming up. We can do
Hey,
something like
whatever it is. I don't
all
care what,
kinds of
we
things.
got
Yeah.
themes
So
for
yeah,
like every month. There's a race
yeah, for
find
sure.
something.
Yeah, one thing about Colorado, there's always a race going on for sure.
Always, always.
Cool. I think the last big tip, last two tips. Number one is join a group. I thought that was really
Yes.
cool. So, like, making it social, right? So that you're not standing in front of a wall by yourself, but if you can maybe have a walking club or a group that you can exercise with. I know you talk about, you do some, Peloton
Yeah.
with a group of friends and colleagues, and that kind of keeps you excited and engaged and motivated. So I love that idea of making it a social thing of being social and being active together, right? I think it's really, really powerful. And then the last thing I thought was really great was, he said, just have fun, right?
Yeah.
So he said, I always tell walkers there are two rules. Don't hurt yourself, number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, have fun. And if you can follow those rules, you'll enjoy this activity for many, many years to come. So I thought that was really a really great tip. It's just, if we can move our body a little bit every single day and have a little fun while we're doing it, it just makes life that much sweeter.
Yeah, man. That's it. That's all we're trying to do. So something simple, something easy, but we'll have fun. And then, yeah, we will be back next time to let you guys know what race we're doing, but we're going to do that. I'm committed.
All right. All right. So hopefully you got some great motivation, inspiration, advice, some tips from a master walker in this episode. We'll link to the article from Harvard Health in the show notes. And this concludes this episode, but we'll be back with many more episodes to help you with diet, exercise, mindfulness, and sleep and healthy relationships, right? Just hopefully help you live healthier, feel better, and live longer. That's what we want to do with this show. And we're going to go on that journey with you as we learn and try to make these positive changes in our lives. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Wellness for Real People. We'll be back very soon. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.